You want to debounce function calls in JavaScript? Nothing easier than that. I will show you how. If you have a search bar with, for example, autocomplete, you don't want to send a query every keystroke the user made. It's better to send the call after a little time period when the last key was pressed. Here you can see that every key press emits our input to our output field. Okay, let's change that. We define a function named Debounce with two parameters, one for the main called function and one for the call timeout. Inside, we define a variable for the timeout ID to handle the reset. Our function returns a new anonymous function with variable arguments. You will see later why. First, we clear our current timeout. This step does nothing on the first call because we have no timeout running. But when the second call comes in, it discards the current running timer. Next, we define what we want to do after our timeout is finished. In our case, we want to call the provided main function with the given arguments, if any. And at the end, we create another constant for our actual process call. We execute the debounce function with our main process function as the first argument. And now you can see that our returned anonymous function is stored in our process function variable. To use our debounce effect, just assign the process function variable wherever you want to debounce something. In our case, it's the type or head of our input field. And that's it. You can see that the input is now delayed and only assign the latest value to our output. Easy, isn't it? If you are a React user, don't forget to wrap your debounce function with use callback to prevent the recreation of your timeout function on every re-rendering. Wait, there's more. We can just turn around things and cut off all later calls except the first one. For that, we keep the scaffold of our function, but inside our anonymous function, we start with a check if our timeout is currently running. If not, we can execute our main function, but if a timeout is existing, we just clear the current timer and assign a fresh one from 0, so the countdown starts again. In our timeout callback, we set the timeout ID to undefined so that later calls work as expected. Assign the process function variable to our click handler, and here we can see that only the first click is executed and all later clicks are omitted. If we wait a couple of times, another click is processed again. So if you like the video, just give me a warm thumbs up, and if not, just turn it around, it's totally fine. And oh, here, maybe you take a look at this.